become convinced that any system which maintains Ibogaine's criminality is in fact criminal and needs to be tore apart brick by brick.
It does seem like a miraculous compound. And what's fascinating to me is that how little was known about it until just basically a decade or so ago. It started making its way into the zeitgeist. And primarily, I heard about it from people. My friend Ed Clay was the first person I heard about it. He became addicted to pills. He had a back injury. And he started talking about it. He went to Mexico and got treated, and then he wound up opening up a center in Mexico. And since then, I've known quite a few veterans, mostly veterans, that they've been led there by other veterans, guys who've gotten help or new friends that had gotten help that way and sent them down there. And every single one of them that I've known that have come back from there has had a miraculous result. It's almost like too good to promise. It's like when you're talking about it, people are like, there's so many people probably listening to this that are at the end of their rope, and they're hearing this like, oh, come on, don't get my hopes up for this miraculous thing, because nothing miraculous works. Most
if it's
people
too good to
that.
be true, it's probably too good to be true.
Right.
But I would have said that myself until I've seen with my own eyes. I've been studying this. You ask a little bit more about in 2017, I went to Washington to be the Secretary of Energy. I asked Morgan Luttrell, Marcus's twin brother, former Navy SEAL, was working on his PhD in brain science, if he would put that on hold and come with me up to D.C. to work at the Department of Energy. And Morgan did. And he was over in a part of the agency where we have oversight of all the supercomputers or the bulk of the supercomputers in the United States. Our national labs have, and we have some partnerships with different universities. The University of San Francisco, University of California, San Francisco, and a researcher out there named Jeffrey Manley, MD, PhD, and he was doing some studies on the brain. For traumatic brain injury, and they were scanning the brain using our supercomputers at the Department of Energy. And Morgan was helping him oversee that as they were going through it because of his obvious background and his study on brain science and what have you. And that's the first time I ever heard about anyone going to Mexico to be treated with this plant medicine was through Morgan, and I kind of picked it up, in a conversation that he was having, and it kind of put me back on my heels a little bit, and I was like,